Well, that was an exciting room in there, and they should be excited. Obviously, every Cowboy fan should be excited how that defense played. And they really did some impressive things out there. Credit goes to head coach, who spent a lot of time on that side of the ball this week, along with Flus, and make an adjustment. Certainly gives us a lot of hope as we look to the future as to how this defense can play as we evolve. It looks like we came out pretty clean on injury. And, of course, I cannot say enough about Dak Prescott and his play throughout the game. It really was the confidence throughout the game that he demonstrated that make you think we were there all the time. So, big win.
Jerry, what can you say about the offense with a healthy CeeDee Lamb and what's the ceiling for this offense?
Well, it gives Turp a lot of openness, doesn't it, when those two guys are out there? I'm kidding. But obviously the fact that George has been able to really establish himself in Lamb's absence, both with confidence, himself, his teammates, coaches, now that gives what he can bring to the table with Lamb, with what we're doing in our running game. I thought, I don't want to take anything away from Washington and how they can disrupt, but I thought that was one of our best offensive outings out here in several years.
With Pickens and Lamb, have you had a better wide receiver duo at any time?
Well, we've had. I don't want to take anything away. I saw Dez going down through there. Don't want to take anything away from those guys. Don't have to, all of them. But I will tell you, Lamb's ability to really make the difference on an offense. Now Pickens is got that ability as well. That along with our running game, really, I feel as good about that offense as I have in a long time around here, and I say that to all our fans. What I am excited about is that we did make and have made adjustments. We'll continue to make adjustments. We do have personnel coming that will be coming and being a part of that defensive personnel. We got a chance to evolve into the kind of team that our fans deserve.
Jerry, you said you would go into a foxhole with Matty Eberflus earlier this week. What did you see from him this week as he adjusted, and why did you want to go into a foxhole?
Well, I will tell you that first of all, he before this, he's the kind of guy you want to be in. He exudes confidence. He exudes confidence to the players, and I was proud of the way he, as well as Brian, worked together to come up with that game plan. Obviously, we have a lot of respect for Washington and what they're capable of doing, and so I think you saw maybe a little bit of an example of how to get your nose bloodied one week. That was a disappointing loss last week, and come out here and learn from it, and I think our bunch did.
Did we just see your team at its very best?
What?
Did we just see your team at its very best?
Well, I don't. I think we played as well today as we played all year. But as far as improving, absent attrition, injury, and what have you, we've got a team that can get better. And I mean, it needs to get better, but it can get better. And it can get better. We had some sloppiness there. And I hate to say that because that's the coach's job to criticize himself. But you all saw some self-inflicted penalties that you can get better doing that for a fact. So I think we've got a little sense here of what this team might be able to be if we can get it hitting on all cylinders.
You're in second place right now. At this point, 7 games in, what do you think this team can do? You mentioned the playoffs before. Do you still feel that way?
Well, I feel that way because, as I've said, I think we've got an outstanding leader in our quarterback. We've got an outstanding player in the quarterback. We're going to have better offensive play, in my view, absent injury. We're going to have better offensive play as well. I mean, offensive line play. And then I think definitely we had, to some degree, no way to go but up on defense. But I didn't expect this kind of performance out here today with our defense. So kudos to Flus and and certainly Brian Schottenheimer. He had a lot of fingerprint on this today.
Jerry, when Brandon Aubrey trots out there for a 60-yard field goal, what are you doing?
Well, I tell you, it doesn't surprise me, and that's ironic when we step out there. As a matter of fact, when we punted at the end, that makes you say, well, let's try a big long one here. But that was the right call. But still, offensively, we've got really a lot of variation of what we can do to win football games with the Cowboys. We're going to get better than we showed today on defense. Now we've got to stay in this hunt and be there at the end so that we get a chance to get in those playoffs and then hopefully be a better team than we saw out there today.
Can you share anything more about Trayvon Diggs' situation and just your concern level?
Well, we always, I don't want to say that we didn't miss it out there today. That's not fair. But that was a crazy, that was a fluke situation. But certainly we're not expecting Trayvon to be out long.
Have you learned what exactly happened?
Well, I don't know that the combination of injury and how it impacted his regarding concussion issue. I'm not so sure that I know the detail of how that happened. Not the way I would if there had been an injury on the field. We normally would see that on TV. We would see how an injury happens. And in this particular case, it was home and unrecorded.
So he hasn't told you what happened?
Oh, he said what happened. But again, and I'm not saying that didn't happen, but a lot of times you're not the best viewer of what happened to you. Somebody else may have had a better look than you did. I don't know.
Can you share what he said happened?
Again, no, I won't get into that. But bottom line is that I do expect him back.
Jerry, does this result maybe entice you a little bit more to make a trade before the deadline defensively to take the defense to another level?
No. And again, a trade situation, in my mind, has to have all of the criteria that would stand on its own. We've got players, and we've got players coming back that I think we can be very competitive with as we go on into toward the playoffs. So that's one thing. Now, this is the time of year when you do see some opportunities according to how it's constructed. We're pretty proud of all those picks that we've got coming in the future and want to use them to add to what you saw out here today.
Jerry, Matt Eberflus has made some changes today. Definitely ran a lot more man, definitely blitzed a little bit more. When players see their coach make changes like that and get positive results, what does that do for players?
Well, I think that we all recognize that the players have to execute those changes. They have to execute those plans. Des, you wrote the book on it. When a player executes a plan that was thought out, that makes everybody be stronger. That builds confidence, yes. And I think that built something out there today for defense in light of how it hadn't been that way the last few games.
How impressive have you been with Javonte Williams in the run game to start the season?
Well, I think we have one of the best in Javonte. I think we have one of the best running backs in the NFL. And he was the way he was running earlier in the game was important to us to get the momentum we got going in this game. And so I feel good. I was glad to see Blue get some. And so I like where we are in our running game. And I like where we are with the blocking and everything that's associated with the running game. But boy, that quarterback's playing lights out, Dak Prescott, and that'll make a lot of good parts of your offense look good.
You alluded a couple of different points over the last week or two about the possibility of making some trades during the season if you can help your defense in some way. Does today's performance dissuade you from wanting to do that, or you still feel like you're in that space?
Not at all. I feel just as inclined or not inclined, really, and I'm not trying to be any way. I don't have anything in front of me right now that I'm interested in. I haven't noodled up something that I might be interested in. You have to go within the boundaries of what's possible. You hear from other clubs as we get on into the trading deadline. We'll see if something there to help us. But I'm not going to holler in my pillow if we don't get a trade, because I feel good about the makeup of the personnel we got on the team right now.
Did George Pickens make you feel better about the Suns filling the windows?
Well, I don't see that. I don't think the Sun would bother a player like George Pickens. I've really never seen one that bothered him, to tell you the truth.
It didn't seem to bother him today.
Well, if the Sun bothers people, the Sun's been around a long time.
Hey, Jerry, when you see the man coverage and the blitzing work like it did today, does it make you think, hey, why weren't we committed to this a little more earlier in the season when it was as effective as it was today?
I can always, when something works, you think, well, maybe we should have been trying that before. But I know what we're trying to do defensively. And what I can appreciate about today, and I hope our fans see, is the way we are making changes, the way we're executing, making those changes. And by the way, if you go back and look at that film, you'll see us doing the same things we've been doing the last 4 or 5 weeks, a whole bunch of them, but we're executing. And they're the same things we've been doing for 4 or 5 weeks, but they executed them today. Now, there were some things we did different, but we were executing some of the very same things, and yet we were hitting the gaps and making the plays defensively. So much for change, yeah. I like the fact that everybody pitched in and got the result today.
Mm-hmm. And they responded well to Diggs being out, which obviously, was a setback. But yeah.
Well, and again, let me be real clear. I don't think there was a response to Diggs being out at all. I think what you saw out there was just guys playing good football, individually being responsible, stepping their game up, not because of Diggs, just stepping their game up because they owe it to everybody to do that. That's what we saw. But you don't, there's no such thing as that we're going to show that we can do it without Diggs. Yeah. It's not the case at all. At all. It doesn't work that way. What you saw out there today was guys, whatever the defense that was called, you saw them executing it better. Across the board.
Hey, when something strange like that happens, a guy has an accident at home and it causes a concussion, like you as GM, like do you try to get to the bottom of that quickly? Do you wait for somebody to come to you, like here's what we're hearing from Trayvon? Like how do you handle something like that?
Well, I just, first of all, want to make sure that no rules have been violated that would hurt the person or the team. Things like law enforcement, those kinds of rules like that. Beyond that, these players are in such a spotlight, and the kinds of things that a lot of us have happened to us, knots on our head, bumps on our back, all that kind of stuff. When you're at where these players are, then that's a higher accountability. Okay. To answer your question, no, I don't go looking it up at all. I really don't. I see what is given me, and I'm satisfied with that.
Okay.
And frankly, I'm satisfied what any player tells me until we get to the point where I'm not satisfied with it.
And this,
but it doesn't. That's not different for a player. That's different for all of our relationships in life.
But is he progressing pretty well in terms of the concussion or whatever he's dealing with, protocols?
I haven't had a doctor's report today at all. But I don't think the nature of his injury was something that will impact us for multiple weeks ahead. I think it could possibly be behind us this week.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. This is not some kind of smoking gun deal here at all. No, he had an accident, and I'm good with that, and he'll be back out here playing.
Okay.
And we need him. If he'll join in and play his game the way these guys have adjusted to play their game, we'll be a lot better team with Diggs.
Yeah, and you had to like seeing that pick six today from Ron.
Yes, yeah. But let me just say this: nothing about Diggs and his injury situation right now, or the cause of his injury situation, gives me any concern about his future. Okay. Not one bit of it. And future being next week. So I think that's where it is. That covers a lot of ground there. The extent of the injury, whether or not there's circumstances, extenuating circumstances that have to be addressed. I don't see anything that I'm familiar with about the injury that keep him from playing starting next week.
Okay.
That's my opinion.
Yeah.
Jerry, is Dak the MVP? Of the
Judge,
league
do you have any other questions for me?
Is Dak the MVP of the league right now, Jerry?
What?
Is Dak Prescott the MVP of the league right now?
Well, he's mine, and he should be Cowboy fans. And he gives us a tremendous opportunity. And this team is really following him. And this team can play against the league competition, just like you saw today. Can play that way, and it can get better.
He's played at a high level before, but right now it seems like there isn't really a bad game coming from Dak. Are you seeing any differences in kind of his approach, or is this just the same Dak and we're just seeing even better results?
Well, I think he and Brian, when Brian was addressing this year, he and Dak had some things in mind that they wanted to work into timing, wanted to work into several technical aspects. I'd say, when I say several, maybe a few. But basically it has to do with his actual techniques as opposed to anything about his leadership or anything about that. And that was on the table, and we got some benefit last year, but we knew we were going to really get some benefit from it this year. Yes, I can see the work that Dak and Brian have done during this past off season. I can see it improving Dak's game.
Do you feel like Clayton Adams is getting enough respect for kind of what he's done to this offense on both the passing and running game as well?
Well, he should be. He should be. They make quite a team. Brian's the guy that hired him, and Clayton is an outstanding coach, and be the first to tell you that this is a great opportunity, and we're glad we had him. And I like the emphasis between those guys have offensive line background in there, both Clayton and then other people we have here. That was a key plus for me when I looked at the makeup of the staff, is the offensive line background that this group has. We've actually got 3 that have that background.
When you made the move for Pickens, you probably had some expectations. Have you exceeded your
Yes. Oh, yes. Yeah. And I said earlier, his expectation, what he's done as a teammate and what he's done to thrive on their really respect and appreciation for what he's doing. And then you're seeing him just grow with that. And so it's what happens when you have a talented player like that all of a sudden starts really working with confidence with talented people around him. And you bet he's, in my opinion, you guys have your own opinion, but in my opinion, he's one of the best receivers there are. You put him with Lamb, you put him out there with Turpin, and you put him with 2 or 3 of those young ones, and we've got a great receiving core with our tight ends.
What do you say to fans who are nervous that he has the same agent as Micah Parsons, and they're worried that he's...
Oh, I wouldn't. Don't pay any attention to that at all. No attention to that at all. And too much was made of that. Okay, that the agent actually had something to do with the ultimate decision of where we were. It almost had 0 to do with it. Period. And that's not a negative. It just didn't have that kind of influence with it. I was going to be where I was with Micah relative to dollars and cents. I don't care who represented him.